When you say that's so gay, do you realize what you say? Knock it off.
That man right there is a homosexual. He got that dog in him. And by dog, I mean homosexuality. Hey, it's Allie. Welcome back to my channel. And happy Pride. Be who you are. I am hard at work on a Dungeon Meshi video. And as I finished up that one and possibly start Ninjago, I said possibly, y'all. Possibly. I saw that it was 17 seasons. And this is coming from a girl who has watched and caught up with a lot of One Piece, okay? I said possibly 17 seasons. That's kind of a lot. We'll see. But as I work on those things, I could not ignore the reason for the season. Okay, it's Pride Month, and I can't go 2 seconds without seeing queer-coded characters in my media, and I need to talk about them today. So I asked all of you guys on my socials via Google Forms. Yes, I know I brought the Google Forms back. It's been a while. It's been a very long time since I've done like a Google Form thing. I love doing these with y'all. And I asked you guys, who are some of your favorite characters that are gay, but they're not gay? AKA characters who are most definitely gay, but like are either straight in canon or unsaid. And also just a disclaimer, I'm using gay as kind of like a catch-all term here for queer. So we will be talking about people all over the pride spectrum, okay? So don't worry, we're not just talking about like same-sex couples, all right? And hey, if you want to be a part of my next form that I put out, I love doing these with those. I want to bring them back in full, in force. Go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and like the video while you're down there, and follow me on my socials. Yes, I'm gonna do a little plug here. Follow me on my socials because that is where I put out the forms. I put them out on the community tab and also all on my socials. And of course, comment down below any characters that I miss. I know I will miss some, and let's jump into it. Now, I don't know if it's because my last video was about Lego Monkey Kid, but like overwhelmingly, I got mostly Lego Monkey Kid comments about characters from Lego Monkey Kid. And we have to be honest here. We have to be honest with ourselves. Sun Wukong and Macaque. Like, I could go all day about them, and maybe I will in a future video. Who knows? Maybe when the next season comes out. Because there is a way to make it so these people are friends, right? They're giving off Vegeta and Goku, right? Like that, I feel like is what they were trying to give off in this. However, the thing about Vegeta and Goku, besides the fact that they both have wives, to me, when I see Vegeta and Goku, and I have shipped Vegeta and Goku for a long time, but never in my head was I like, are they supposed to be gay? Because that's what it's giving off. I've never been like that. But Macaque and Wukong, in my head, I'm sitting there like, I think the writers are trying to tell us something. Because the way that they act, like I would go to the ends of the earth for my friends, and this is going to be a reoccurring thing in this video. I would go to the ends of the earth for my friends. I would do a lot of things for my friends, but some of the things that these people do for each other, I will move heaven and earth for you, I will curse myself, curse anybody else, and also fight against the world for you and you only. Yeah, a lot of that. And Wukong and Macaque have just such that like deep issues and like past together that you have to sit there and squint like, like, I don't know if this was in the original text type shit, you know? Like, this is all based off of Journey to the West, and I don't think that was in the original text, you know? And same with Pigsy and Tang. Like, that's giving old man Yowie right there. Like, that's just straight up old man Yowie. They have a kid together. Like, MK is everybody's child at this point, but especially Tang and Pigsy. Like, Pigsy, that's his actual child, and Tang is just there as like the cool aloof dad who just kind of comes in every now and then, maybe says something of wisdom. It's a little like, well, what's the plan here? Like, what's going on here? Because we've seen, like, here's my thing, is whenever there is a straight couple in these types of shows, like especially in Lego Monkey Kid, because we have like the Minotaur guy and his wife, like them two together, like them's the besties right there. And I feel like it's so obvious with them that it really does make you squint at all the other ones. Like, I'm sorry, like these two are acting like this, and you mean to tell me that Wukong and Macaque are acting the exact same way, and I'm not supposed to read it in a romantic light? Okay, yeah, sure. All right. Also, y'all, some of y'all did mention Lego Ninjago as well. We have Leloid. I refuse to call him anything else other than Leloid, okay? Lego Ninjago movie, if you know, you know. Leloid, people were talking about like he could possibly be on the ace spectrum because apparently any girl that they paired him with in the show, he has zero interest in. And I feel like this is where a lot of shonen writers come into play. I know this is like more of an American cartoon, but like this happens a lot in shonen as well. Like in Naruto, it's like you just don't know how to write women so well, or how to write these men being interested in women in a way that isn't just like, oh, boobies, gung gung, booby brain, blah blah blah. Like, it's either, and it's weird because I think it does stem from a little bit of misogyny, but it's like, you don't know how to write a guy being into a girl in a normal way. So he's either a very perverted way of like liking her, or he doesn't like her at all and doesn't even give her the time of day, to the point where it almost feels like he's just not into women. And that seems to be what's going on here with Lloyd, at least from what y'all have been saying. And people have been putting on the A spectrum because of that. And same with also Luffy from One Piece. I put him on the A spectrum 100%. I teeter back and forth, honestly, because it's all headcanons at the end of the day. And I love that there isn't like a super hardline romance within One Piece, which is also why like there is romance in One Piece, meaning like there are characters who are romantically involved with each other. None of the main characters are, but like having some characters like auxiliary characters who are romantically involved with each other. I feel like when you do that in a show, again bringing it up again, when you bring up people who are romantically involved with each other in the show, we only have that to compare it to. So when characters are acting either exactly like those romantic couples or completely opposite to those romantic couples, how do you expect us as the audience to feel? Like, genuinely, how do you expect me to feel when Luffy is going into a world full of like beautiful women, one of which has the literal power to make people attracted to her, and he feels nothing? He is either gay or asexual or both. So next up on the cartoon docket, we have Leo from Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Absolutely. Once again, I will keep saying this till the cows come home. When you compare it to somebody else, because people will be like, oh, it's because he's so flamboyant and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yes, but no. Like, yes, that usually sometimes is a trope in cartoons of like flamboyant characters being gay. But like, also, is this lady about to sit on her porch and watch me film this video? No. Whatever. But also specifically in Rise of the Teenage Mutant tongue twister, but specifically in Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, we have somebody like Mikey who is very flamboyant. I would argue even more flamboyant than Leo, and somehow Leo gives off more gay vibes. Like, for some fucking reason. It just could be because of like there's something more than just being like flamboyant that has to do with like being a gay character, right? And like traditionally, stereotypically gay characters, super flamboyant, whatever. There is a level to it. There's a queerness to it that is actually like, oh, this character is gay, actually, and not just like, oh, flamboyant for the sake of being flamboyant, you know? Like, that is what Leo gives off. It's hard to explain. Queer people, please, in the comments, I feel this in a lot of different shows where these characters aren't explicitly gay, and maybe they're a little bit flamboyant, and so people will be like, oh, he's gay because he's flamboyant. But it's like, no, there's levels to it. Because like I said, Mikey is very flamboyant, Donnie is very flamboyant. A lot of people do like headcanon them as gay as well. But like, there is some, like, when I talk about like stuff that could possibly be canon, which I don't do very often, Leo is one of those where it's like, there is something here. I think with his story and also his personality and the character development that he goes through, it's like, if this were to go on for another couple of like years, don't even get me started on Usagi, okay? I think it's because TMNT never lasts that long to get to Usagi, because I think the writers are cowards. And if Usagi was there, I don't think we'd be able to deny it anymore. I don't think we'd be able to. If you don't know, Usagi is this like bunny character who ends up becoming friends with Leo in a lot of different universes, heavily shipped together. Heavily. They got that destiny bond type shit. And if Usagi was introduced, it would be a lot harder to just kind of write it off as, haha, he's just being flamboyant and like overexcitable and like whatever, and he just has a flirty personality. And I would love to see how that flirty personality works with somebody who he actually likes, friendship or not. Because yeah, Speaking of Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, we have Baron Draxum and by extension Lujitsu / Splinter. Yeah. Again, old man Yowie, absolutely. This again, flamboyancy, but like comes like at a villain-esque air. And any villain that is flamboyant, we've all watched Disney, okay? There's a queerness undertone to it all that just makes you go, was this intentional? Because there's so many levels to it. Because you have the Spider Lady, right? The Spider Lady, she is very flamboyant. She is very like, hoo hee ha ha ha, whatever. But at no point do I feel like there is any queerness undertones to her. With Baron Draxum though, I feel like better people with like better analysis of these types of shows, like I'd have to rewatch the entire show to give you a full analysis, but I just like, there is such a queerness undertone to everything going on with those two characters that make me go, yeah, why are you staring at Lujitsu like that? Why are you that obsessed? Why are you so obsessed with him? Like, that's also a thing I feel like happens with a lot of characters in like yaoi and yuri and things like that, is this obsession with this other person. And it's usually, you know, that has a lot to do with queerness as well, whether it's because you want to be them, be with them, etc., etc. And especially in magical worlds like this, that can usually, you know, manifest itself as like this person being a villain in a sense, whereas like they're just really misunderstood and may not know how to like express that, which I think is a lot of things a lot of queer people can relate to. Okay, shout out to this person on the forum who left a bunch of like women characters, because I still feel like women characters get the rub a lot of time. I feel like we're doing better. We're definitely doing better in the last couple of years with women like characters being on screen and having that queer coding, or just straight up being canon. But I just feel like there's still not enough. Like the yaoi to yuri like ratio. And that's why I love Dungeon Meshi, which we will get to. Oh, we will get to it. But this person specifically mentioned Nami, which like most lesbian I've ever seen in my life. Come on now. Her girlfriend is literally Vivi. Like her long distance relationship to, come on now. They also mentioned Robin, which like to me no, but I can see it for you. To me no, and it may just be because I do ship her with Frankie a lot. She's giving mom, she's giving mother, and because of that I think she, to me, I'm like she could be the token straight, okay? But people are like, oh, bisexual, so yeah, that is true. Bisexual, pansexual, that is very true. To me, she's giving token straight. Her and Frankie, they're giving token straight parents. This person also said Sakura and Ino, which like, yeah, if the writers weren't cowards, like how are you gonna put more effort and more of like the thing about like Sakura and Ino, and it's like Naruto and Sasuke, right? They both hate each other, but really they're best friends. I just like, I have, you know, quarrels with my best friends sometimes. You know, I treat them like my siblings, okay? I have quarrels with them sometimes, not to this level though. I don't think to this level with Ino and Sakura, and we're supposed to believe it's all over a boy. I don't think so. I just don't think so. They also said Azula, which like mean lesbian queen, and of course Sokka and Zuko. Sokka is very much so giving Bai King vibes, absolutely, and of course Zuko also giving off Bai King vibes, if we're being so honest. Like that whole group just reeks of like queer friend group coming of age story. Like if we're being so honest. Rapid fire, Chun-Li and Cammy from Street Fighter, and they talked about seeing some fan art, and then you're like, oh yeah, which like sometimes that's all it takes. They also said the same with Cassandra Cain and Stephanie Brown from like DC Comics, and like sometimes all it takes is one person making some really good fan art that makes you go, you know, maybe these two have never had a canon conversation together, but I see it. I do. And lastly, they said Kirishima, best trans boy. And you know what? You're onto something. No, I think you're onto something. I think a lot of the people in My Hero Academia are like on the like gay and trans spectrum respectively. I think it just, maybe it's because it's like such a coming of age story that it's like, oh no, I see, like you're all a bunch of like queer friends in a queer friend group trying to figure out your lives, like while simultaneously fighting the government, not the government, fighting Hero Society, really. Hero Society, and also the big bad guy, All for One. I haven't read My Hero Academia in a very long time, but that is what it's giving a lot, especially, what was it? What was that thing that was trending recently with Ogirl and Uraraka and Himiko, I think her name is? That might be wrong. I'll put it up on screen. But those two had a whole thing going on, and it was like, oh. Oh, now this again could just be the failure to try and write any chemistry between any of your straight characters, and you have more chemistry. Why do characters have more chemistry with their villains than they do with each other? Like, you're supposed to tell me that I'm supposed to believe that Uraraka loves Deku and has a crush on Deku, and the only time we see that is maybe once or twice, and there's no chemistry there or anything at all, and maybe it's supposed to be like a unrequited love thing going on, but there's just like such no chemistry there that it's like they have more chemistry with the villains and have more in common and more things going on with their villains, that's how they end up being shipped together. Like, intentional or not, now it's queer, babes. Now, like I said, I am making a Dungeon Meshi video, but that video is going to be about racism, mostly, because that is, like, a really big thing in the show that kind of hit me like a truck, and I was like, oh, whoa, don't worry, it's gonna still be lighthearted. It's still gonna be lighthearted. But, I don't think I'll have enough time to talk about, like, the queerness undertones of that show, because there's a lot. Oh, there's a lot. There's such a lot. Senshi and Chilchuk, What's going on there? Like, what's going on there? Bi King, Chilchuck, and Gay Bear, Senshi. I know this person said specifically Senshi was bi. To me, he's a bear. He's a gay bear because he has that very loving and protective vibe he has for everybody, which, like, if you've been watching and keeping up with the anime, she says, okay, Senshi, he needs a hug. He needs a fucking hug. He did get a hug, and I'm glad he got his hug because, oh my god. Anyway, Laios, a lot of people put him on the gay/A spectrum. I also do that a lot. I flip-flop, again, much like Luffy, between just being straight up gay and then arrow ace. I also recently have been reading the manga for Dungeon Meshi, and I just got to chapter 76. And if you know about chapter 76, I posted this on my Instagram with no spoilers. I was just like, chapter 76, rainbow. Because, Kabaru? The conversation, to put it very lightly, no spoilers, the conversation, he has a conversation with Laios that is just like, if this was a BL manga, like if you were to take this out of context, take this whole conversation just out of context, you'd be like, is this a BL manga? Like, is he about to confess to this person? Because what, like, oh, Kabaru. Oh, like, I feel like in another universe, or maybe that was the universe, okay? It just really did read like a confession. I don't know what to say. I stand with you, Copper. You may be a freak, but I stand with you. And of course, last but not least, we have Fallen and Marcial. Okay, Fallen, I do see her as like pansexual queen. Okay, she is the pan queen, and that's not just because I am like heavily projecting onto her. It's not because of that, I promise. And then of course Marcial, lesbian queen. Lesbian queen right there. I've also, like I said, been catching up on the manga, and oh my god, Marcial, oh my god, but it's giving lesbian. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. Yeah, go watch that show and come back to me and tell me you don't see that. Like, I refuse to believe it. I refuse to believe that you don't see that, where at least we are coming from when we're talking about that. Like, you can sit here and be like, oh, sure, this, sure, that. Girl, who cares? But like, you can't sit there and tell me you're sitting there watching Marcial do the things that again, the whole thing, I will go to the ends of the earth for my friends. I will move heaven and earth. But the things that Marcial does, not getting into any spoilers, the things that Marcial does for the sake of Fallen specifically, like, she has her own motives for other things too. She has a backstory and all that stuff. But the things that she does specifically for Fallen, would you do necromancy for your friend? Maybe, probably. But like, the levels to which it like is there, I just, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. And also all the like extra stuff that we get on the side from like the Adventurer's Bible, and also the art book that came out. Like, every single picture with like group picture, Marcial is right next to Fallen. She is hanging off of Fallen's arm. She is all up on Fallen. I don't know, man. I don't know. The Yuri is getting to me. I have to read this word for word. So this is about Persona 4, and I have not played the remake. I haven't played any Persona 4, but like, I really want to play the remake. But I need to read this word for word. So I may not personally understand, but maybe some of you will. And here we go. It's Yosuke Hanamura from Persona 4. There's so many reasons I've been hyperfixating on the closeted ass motherfucker for months. There's so much, not even including his cut romance with the male protagonist. Ooh. It makes me wild. The closet is glass. They make these fuckers so fruity. Like, dog, I'm gripping the wall, screaming and wailing. Hyperfixiations got me bad. I want them to explode affectionately, by the way. But like, man, they have the gay ass shit happening in the spin-off games. Oh, like his internal monologue is like, there's a reason I call him partner and not just my best friend. He calls you special. He literally has you in a separate category from friends and family. Yeah, what does that mean? Like, what is that supposed to mean? When you do that, when you literally make a character go above friends and family, like Sasuke, like Fallen, like all of these other characters that we have seen that just go above and beyond what you would normally do for friends and family. What are we supposed to think? What are we supposed to think? And now we get into what I like to call the second lightning round, which is a group of characters from live action. And, you know, I'm glad I got some live action ones because I know I am mostly a cartoon anime like channel. But, so, you know, I dabble in live action sometimes. This person says Styles Stilinski from Teen Wolf. I think in the original, it is even more obvious that he was supposed to be gay. Like, he is very gay coded. I think in the new one, the more like remake one, I think it becomes a little bit more obvious towards the end of the season, especially when he gets his own like little Dark Styles moment. Oh, what a good moment. Someone also mentioned Eddie, and I had to look that up. Like, Eddie, what was the last name? Eddie Diaz. He's from that 911 show that went viral a couple of months back for like having gay characters in it, and nobody was expecting it, because it's one of those shows like it's one of those shows where like you're not really paying attention to it, but you know somebody in your life that's obsessed with it. And I have two friends in my life that are absolutely obsessed with it, because like half of the characters in there apparently are like gay or bisexual. What's going on? The 911 girlies are eating, apparently. Of course, though, my first thought when you said Eddie was Eddie Brock from Venom. Please take a look at that fucking trailer. And they released it during Pride Month, at the beginning of Pride Month, no less. Yeah, right. Yeah. Someone in my comments also said the Welcome Home characters, which, like, I have good news for you, bestie. It's canon. It's all canon. A lot of them are on the, I was gonna say on the spectrum, wrong spectrum, on the like Pride spectrum. A lot of them, if not all the characters. I know there are some like confirmed characters like Frank and Eddie. Speaking of Eddies, Frank and Eddie, and also I think Poppy. Those are characters that are like on the LGBT spectrum. And then I want to say like every other character as well, but those are the ones that I know are confirmed. And a lot of LGBT themes are like the theme of Welcome Home. So like, good news for you, bud. It's canon. Also, Cole from Ninjago, very gay, very gay. My friend put SpongeBob SquarePants, just the way that he talks to Squidward in nearly every episode. The writer didn't make it discreet at all. He's fruity as fuck. SpongeBob is fruity. You know the like fucking Nicktoons Unite like fucking fan art that's becoming like super popular lately because of one specific artist? How many of y'all can say that? How many of y'all can say that one single artist single-handedly brought back an entire fandom? Like, that is hyperfixation at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. Like, oh my god. But anyway, the way SpongeBob is depicted in that, like, it but also just in canon in general, like, SpongeBob's a little fruity. I think there was something somewhere about SpongeBob being gay. No, he's asexual, right? That's canon, right? He's asexual. There you go. All right, I want to end this off on some notable ones that nobody, I feel like these ones are so obvious that y'all didn't write them down because they're just so obvious that you'd be surprised that they weren't canon. Gojo and Ghetto. In fact, Gojo and Ghetto, they're just like gay for each other. They're not even like actually gay like for anybody else other than each other. Like, they're on that we love each other in every universe type shit. Like, even in death, you thinking about each other. Like, that's so fruity. Like they're the type of gays that annoy me. Like, that's like, maybe I'm a little homophobic when I think of them. And of course, we have the gay king himself, Oikawa. I think when I made this type of video like years ago, I mentioned Oikawa. I think he was in the thumbnail. I also think I mentioned Gojo and Ghetto in that one. I was a little tipsy in that one. And I'm a little hungover today because I went to the Sonic Symphony yesterday. Speaking of Sonic Symphony, Sonidao, how could I forget Sonic and Shadow? Sometimes it's just so obvious that you're like, I can't even... why would I even mention them? Because it's just so obvious. Sonic and Shadow? Sonic X Shadow? Generations? Yeah, but Oikawa, going back to Oikawa though, he's just gay king. He got put in the Disney villain realm so quickly, and it's like, oh yeah, you can't be a Disney villain without being queer. I'm sorry. Well, you can't be a good Disney villain without being queer. Ooh. Oh, and with that, I think we're gonna end the video before Disney comes for my neck. Thank you all so much for watching all the way to the end. If you did, you are a real one. I hope you enjoyed. I really do hope you enjoyed this, because I love doing these. Oh my god, happy Pride. You are loved. You are wanted. No matter who you are, be who you are. And there are tons of actual canon media out there. If you're tired of non-canon media, there's like oh my god, I can't speak. We have been getting a lot of really good representation in media lately. I, for one, would like more toxic people. I love toxic gay people, and I want some more of that. That's what I want. I wish for everybody this month to have a very safe and happy and lit Pride. Get lit with your friends, and if you don't have a friend, hey, I'm right here. Maybe I'll go live eventually. I really do want to stream Stardew Valley, so maybe I'll do that like on like Tuesday or something. Who knows? Well, okay. I'm filming this on a Sunday, so when I mean Tuesday, I mean the Tuesday before you see this video. So anyway, just catch me on my YouTube channel. This is where I've been going live lately because it's easier to reach you guys here than being like, hey, jump over to a different platform. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. Love and peace. Oh my god, I forgot. Literally, Trigon. There's just so many ships that are just so obvious that I'm like, oh my god, how could I forget? the little gayest of all, Vash.